Scandi Shift, the podcast where two expat moms talk honestly about surviving, thriving, and building a happy life in Denmark. I'm Selena.
And I'm Meg. And today we're tackling the top 6 stereotypes we've heard about Danes. Because apparently Danes are so fill in the blank. And today we're going to fill in a few of those blanks and see which ones actually hold up. We're going to go completely off the cuff. I'll read one to Selena. She'll read one to me. We'll both talk about it. And yeah, we'll see what we think. Also, we'd love to hear what you think as well. So, should we start? Are you ready?
Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. Okay, let's start with the big one. Danes are so cold and reserved. Selena, what do you think? True or not?
I think, okay, God. I'm like, is it true? True.
Mm-hmm.
Initially. And very much, I think, dependent on where you grew up, what you're used to. I bet if you're from South America, just anywhere in America, basically,
Yes.
From the UK or from like South Europe, it's probably going to be quite a big culture shock moving here. And you may have that impression initially of things.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we both come from cultures, especially you from Northern England. It's very similar to me in the States where we tend to be a little bit more chatty. So I think that whole...
So a little bit louder.
Yes, definitely. Well, you guys are at least a lot quieter. Us Americans are so loud.
I mean, yeah, that's what you see in the films.
I'm going to say I am a chatty Kathy. Anyone knows me. I'm a talker. I have no problems talking to anyone. I am a queen of small talk. And I think when you're walking around the street, it is a different feeling, similar to what you're saying, like Southern Europe and Northern Europe. It's a very different feeling. If you're walking around in Italy, there's a lot more vivaciousness, loudness to it. I think there's something with like the heat. And I think there must be some, if you did like a Venn diagram to temperature and touchy-feely greetings, like French kiss on 1 or 2 cheeks, Italians kiss on 2 cheeks, Spanish.
Where on earth are you going?
I'm going with the fact that I think that when you there's a Venn diagram between heat and how people interact with each other on whether people think they're cold or reserved or overly effusive. I think Americans are overly effusive.
Who's in the middle of that Venn diagram, though? That's the big question. I'm maybe seriously gonna try and answer that.
I'm gonna make a Venn diagram. No, I think coming from the States, Americans are known to be extra friendly. We are very friendly. You're brought up to smile. You're brought up to be friendly. You're brought up to do small talk. Even if you don't know anyone, it's always like, oh, hi, how are you doing? Like that idea of like, how are you doing? We actually don't care. We're not asking you because we want a deep answer, which I think is actually...
That's more like, it's just hi. It's just an extension of hello.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? It's not...
Which like Danes also don't like.
No.
Because if you ask a Dane, hey, how you doing? That's a meaningful question.
It is a meaningful question.
Yeah. I have experienced this in work. You're like, oh, hey, how you doing? And that is literally how I greet people.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it, whether it's just a hello back but often you get like, oh, well, it's been, quite the weekend. And, you're kind of on your way to a meeting. Yeah. So you've said it and you're like, I deserve this. 3 minutes in, yes. I deserve this. Like, I asked, don't ask a question you don't want the answer to. And it's not that you don't want the answer, it's just a cultural clash. That's another thing.
Oh, it is. That it's true. It is a cultural clash. Even the States, you're going to say, hey, how are you doing? We don't really care about a stranger, but you just, in general, say it. Danes are like, why would you ask if you don't care? And I actually respect that because it means that when you're having a connection, when you're actually talking to somebody, it is more meaningful. It is not as empty, I think. So, I think the perception that they're cold and reserved is more about the fact that they're not overly effusive. But I don't think once you understand that cultural difference, you actually find that they are cold. They're actually not cold. They're very, very warm people, but it's genuine connections, not fakeness.
Exactly. I have maybe one other example that I also from a previous workplace where I had a little bit of a culture shock. One of my first meetings that I ran there, I was presenting, I used to work in organizational development. I was presenting something from that space. And honestly, I probably could have been presenting anything.
Yeah.
And I got to know that the reaction is always going to be the similar until you like open up for questions or, you know, you talk one-on-one. But I was just faced with deadpan faces.
Oh God.
And it's so disconcerting when you're presenting something that you really like. You believe in this product or whatever.
You've got passion behind
I'm
it.
passionate. I'm quite an animated, like when I talk a little bit like the Italians. I'm expressionate, let's say, with my hands. Anyone who knows me, if I laugh, my head flies back. It's like I go all in. I wasn't doing that in the meeting. I just need to say, I was probably using my hands and gesturing because I'm doing it now as I'm saying yes. But, you know, you look around and there's like 10 faces and no one's giving any reaction. I came out and I spoke to another colleague and I was like, is this a Danish thing? Like, what? I never experienced this before. But what I realized, they're just being very respectful. They're just waiting patiently. They're not interrupting. And then when you throw it out to the floor, then you get the real engagement. And afterwards, when I talked one-on-one, completely different. Oh, so very interesting how group settings and they live by this.
Oh, Jentelana.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I butchered that.
I thought that was my first encounter where I was like, they're not trying to take the limelight. They're giving you the space. They're absorbing. They were listening. And of course, I just want to say we're like doing sweeping generalizations on Danes right now because it's stereotypes, right? But that was just my experience in the workplace with them. But very different one-on-one.
Yes. Okay. All right. So I guess it's a yes, but is the answer to that myth? Yes, but.
Yeah, I think it depends.
It depends. All right. Yeah. All right. It depends. I'll take that.
That's literally what all professors in every university around the world say. You ask them a question and they go, it depends. Yeah. Because they always want a balanced argument. And I'm not trying to do that, but I think this one, it depends.
Okay.
All right. So on to the next. Okay. I think this, for me, of all the topics we talk about today, is a big, big one and is probably the most common thing. And I'm sure it's probably for you too, because we've talked about it a lot. And it's part of the reason why we're doing the podcast.
True. Okay.
Danes are so difficult to make friends with.
Oh, gosh. Okay. All right.
Drop the bomb.
I'm like, oh, what is this one going to be? What is this going to be? Okay. All right.
True or not?
It is a tough one. I think that yes. You know, I think yes. I think
I agree.
In general, yes.
We love you, but you are hard to make friends with.
Yes, I will. Yes, that is 100% true. I think that there's some caveats to that, right? And I think,
hang on, I'm smelling. Yeah, it depends.
It depends. I think there's a few ways that.
Okay, no. Before you do it, I'm going to ask you something. How many?
Yes.
You've lived here for how long?
13 months.
13 months. How many Danish friends, people that you spend either one-on-one time with or you do group stuff with, but you know, you would text them, you would be in touch with them. How many of those do you have?
Okay. My in-laws don't count, right?
No. Yeah. You can't marry it.
Okay. So then I would say 5. Now, it is kind of cheating because that sounds like a lot of numbers.
I think that's impressive.
4 of them are one group. I was brought into that group and that was actually hard.
But you meet with them each one-on-one?
I have hung out with 3 of them. Yeah. Well, 2 of them. And I have gone to the movies a couple of times together. And then 1 I'd gone a couple of times. So, and then all of us have done boating trips. So I think, yes, like,
yes.
Yeah. I think that counts.
I would say that counts as friendship.
Yes. I knew I made it when I made it into the group chat.
Oh,
in
my
the group
God.
chat. That's right. Yeah. So yes, I think that does count.
Share the secret then. Come on.
My 5th one though, I inherited this friend through my husband. So she is awesome. I really like her. I'm trying to steal her more as my friend.
Because a literal friend of your husband.
Yes, right. Exactly. Yeah, a literal friend of my husband's. And I met her several times of visiting and things like that. And also know her brother. Like, so it's a kind of a family thing. But I would say that I am actively trying to steal her to be more of my friend. And we definitely do that. the texting, but my husband's terrible at text. Don't ever text my husband. He basically will not respond. But
Also,
yes.
just as a general rule, don't text other people's husbands.
That's true. That's true. Don't text my husband. But yeah, so I will say that it is difficult. And the reasons it's difficult is because I come from a culture where small talk helps you then get to know someone, see where you have commonalities, and then move on from there. But in a culture where small talk is not a thing, or it's not something that they naturally do or want to do, and most Danes, and again, this is a generalization, but most Danes meet the significant amount of their friends when they're 7 years old, through school when they're 7, and they move up that way. And so they're used to having these deep connections, again, going back to like, you don't have surface connections, deep connections that you've known these people for years, you move up into it. And so it is hard to break in. Oh no, I have a sixth friend. She's Danish too. Yay! Oh, I just found out. And we have gone out. Yes. But to be fair, she's married to a Frenchman and I met her through the international school. So I think this is going to break into the point.
Like,
it does count.
Yes.
That's true. I think what I find it easiest are there's two ways of making friends with Danes here. One, if they have traveled out of the country a significant amount or lived out of the country a significant amount and or are married to a foreigner, they understand the struggle it is to make friends with people a little bit better, a little bit more easily. And so they tend to be...
Yeah, because they're not just in the Danish bubble. They've actually had to go out to another country and make friends, do what you're trying to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's where that comes. The other thing is if they are partly non-Danish, also comes through. If they're like French and Danish or Italian and Danish, some of that, I guess, again, warm European things come in. That's one way, is either they have traveled, have done what I'm doing in another country, or are married to a foreigner. That's kind of one. The second part is, and this is what they always say, but people find really difficult, and this will be my last point, but is to get into a group.
Got a lot of points.
I know. I'm passionate about it.
Make friends, damn it.
I know. But it is get into a group or find a way that you see the same people over and over and over again. The way I did it is my dog. 4 of my major friends I met at the dog park. And it took me going to that dog park every single day for a good month before I got past the hi and then moved into the invitation to walk with them and into then like the friends I have now. And
I still think it's fast work. 1 month to break that down. I think it's...
Well, this is the big caveat. I, within 2 months of being there, showed a conscientious effort to learn Danish and try and speak Danish. So now when I'm with them, I 99% of the time, they/me are speaking Danish. Now me, I say slash in, I'm probably speaking Danish like 40% of the time and really trying hard and then learning.
And is that a, but I'm going to... And then, hi. Hi for day.
The key phrases, yes.
Yeah.
No, I do try, and when I get stuck in a word, they're really helpful. And so I will speak Danglish, getting better and better and better with the Danish part of that. But yes, that is me also saying I'm making an effort to be part of your culture and be part of your group. But it's also after they showed, hey, we want you in our group. And they're lovely. And I'm really
And they did that on you speaking English alone.
Yes.
Mostly.
Yes, at first. Yeah. And I will say, like, and I'm very, very thankful for my dog park friends. They are a phenomenal group of women. So.
I think that's a really good. So key takeaways: get a dog.
Yeah.
Mingle with that dog.
Yeah.
On said dog parks. Yeah. Around the city or wherever you are. And it's good you mentioned about language, because I do get asked this actually, like when you met your Danish friends, you know, I mean, are you speaking Danish? I'm like, no, I don't speak Danish.
Yeah.
I speak kid level Danish. Mm-hmm. I speak Danish at the school with the kids from the school or in the Bernie Hill, you know, when the kids are asking questions.
And I speak reprimand Danish.
Yeah. Like it's simple Danish. Mm-hmm. I never speak any Danish around my in-laws, my husband. Yeah. I have like weird words now that for some reason I've like interjected some Danish word. So the word finish, I always say færdig.
Oh yeah.
So it's like in English I'll be like, have have you fairly? Because I have a 2-year-old, and this is the level, right, of sometimes with 2-year-olds, they're very, very, very Danglish as well in my house. So I've never spoken Danish with my Danish friends. A couple of them are mixed. So, half Danish, half something else.
Yeah.
Have lived out of the country, probably do appreciate the struggle. Met one in my mother's group. I met one at work, and then met one also through my husband.
Yeah. Ooh. Did you steal her slowly?
A very dear friend as well. So, she's fully Danish, and she wasn't his friend.
Oh, fair enough.
She was married to his friend. Yeah. But it was funny because he said to me the first night that we met, oh, by the way, you're going to meet so-and-so, and don't be surprised if she's, really shy and reserved. And I can tell the story because they both know that I've talked to each of them about this and we've laughed about it since. But she's a bit shy and she might be a bit reserved with you. Maybe she doesn't want to speak too much English with you tonight. Well, that was definitely not how that night turned out. I think we drank a lot, we danced a lot, we talked a lot, we hugged a lot, we were like holding hands. Like, I don't think I've ever.
Are you sure she's Danish and not Italian?
She does have an American influence in the family, but she's born and raised here. But yeah, that was quite funny because I went there thinking, oh, okay, so I won't expect too much. And now we're very, very close friends and have been for a long time. So
wait, so the key message in that is drink a lot and dance a lot together.
Yeah, I mean, Danes, they have that stereotype about liking a drink. So lean into it. I'm also British. I can barely speak about that. And I think we're also known for that. But it is hard. I definitely think this one is true.
Yes.
It takes perseverance.
Yes.
A lot of common interests. Honestly, and just patience, because I think yours happened pretty fast.
Yeah.
That's more unusual.
Yeah.
And you are also extremely extrovert, and you're not shy and you're not afraid to put yourself out there. I think maybe the average person, it would take longer.
Yeah.
And it did take me longer as well.
I did kind of throw myself in their faces every morning. Good morning.
Yeah, but it's great. I think it's really, really, I was being genuine when I said it's impressive.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So now we have friendship down. Next thing after friendship comes love, marriage, kids.
Oh, yes.
Ready?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So Danes are so patient with their kids. Go. As a mother,
annoyingly true. Like, maybe 3 kids 2 years apart. That's where you all crack. I'm not sure, but I would love to have more of those Danish patience.
Yeah.
I really admire this. I also find it extremely annoying because I'm not a patient person by nature. So they have something that I really want and need more of. But yeah, they are genuinely, on average, very patient with their kids.
Yes.
And I've seen all kinds of shenanigans in wardrobes, sorry, that sounds really strange. This is what I'm talking about, people. I don't speak Danish, but it creeps in and makes me sound really weird. That wasn't even Danglish. That was just like an English word said. It's a weird Danish conversion. Okay, so just need to explain this now. So where you go and drop your kids off is called the garderobe, which means wardrobe in English. So it's where they hang, you take the boots off, all the outerwear, they have spare clothes, yada, 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 right? That's what I meant. So when we're doing drop off or pick up, you're in there. Not just it's not like Narnia, not in a literal wardrobe, hanging out like weirdos.
Step through a door and you've entered Denmark.
Yeah, so I've seen all kinds of shenanigans during the drop-off, pick-up, as with all children of a certain age, not kind of doing as they need to. And, you're like, okay, I need to go and, got to pick up your brother at school. Still got to get your sister from the daycare next door. Come on. Yeah. And they're like, no. And that's like, no.
Yeah.
And then, you've got someone next to you whose kid's crying on the floor. And they're like, oh, I'm so scared. I feel it's so nurturing.
Yes.
And then this just keeps going and going. And and they just have a certain way about them. It must just be something culturally ingrained into them from childhood.
I think you're right. Because My husband is now my husband is a very laid back person in general.
Yes,
Even for a
agree.
Dane. He's like very
He has a laid back temperament.
Yeah, a very laid back temperament. So it takes a lot to get him riled up, so to speak, and lose his temper. A lot. So I just thought when we first met and we were over in the States and he was, parenting our child, that like it was him. And then I came here and I was like, oh no, he's just one of millions of these parents that are just like, oh, it is gentle parenting, but not the bad version of it. Not the one that like turns kids into monsters. Sorry, that might be judgmental, gentle parenting. It's more of like a nurturing parenting, like a very patient, nurturing parenting where they don't let the child's emotions fluster them.
Yes, they regulate their own emotions very well. I think that's the key. Yeah. What I like the differences that I see. Yeah,
that's a great one.
And there was what's the book? The Danish Way of Parenting.
Yes. Fantastic.
Pretty popular book, right?
Yes.
The author lays out this theory around Danish parenting. And I was looking at it the other day because I knew we were going to be doing this topic and I was thinking, I've definitely seen this somewhere.
Yeah.
And they talk about authenticity, reframing, empathy, ultimatums, and togetherness. And all of this is about its encouragement. It's making sure that like negative behaviors are viewed as opportunities to get their perspective. They don't really punish. They don't talk about bad behavior. So if a kid who's 2 years old is having a tantrum, some parents will be like, oh God, this is just a nightmare, like, never behaved, won't do as they don't do that.
No.
And then empathy, making sure that that's really central. I think that's a big one, actually, when it comes to kids. Just remembering, I'm just using the 2-year-old because I have one, but they're 2.
Yes.
They're wired this way. It's developmental. It's healthy that they do this and they say no and they want to do left when you said right. And as annoying
boundaries, as my husband says.
Exactly. Oh, it's healthy.
Yes.
And you're like, after they've said no like 10,000 times, like, yeah, it's real healthy.
I'm feeling the health benefits right now.
Not giving ultimatums. So absolutely don't get into power struggles.
Yeah.
No means no kind of thing. And then this whole like hoogie thing, making it safe and positive so that your kids actually share how they're feeling and open up. And there is, not to get too technical, but there is something very wholesome about that. And like I said, I'm a big fan, actually.
I feel like I could talk on this subject a lot. So I'm going to have a whole episode on
maybe we'll come back to this.
Yeah, Danish parenting, because I think there's a lot also, as we both are not Danish, how do we try and emulate? How do we adjust? How do we not adjust? And like, how do we feel comfortable? I think that would be good.
I feel like we've said every single one is like a big one. And I guess they are because they're stereotypes, right?
Yes.
So it's obviously it takes a certain number of people to behave and operate in a way to become a stereotype, be it positive or not. But this is actually a really positive one, I find. Yeah. So moving on from there and keeping with the positive trend.
Yes.
We're going to talk about if we think Danes are so happy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is near and dear to my heart because the second I said we were moving to Denmark, everyone was like, oh my God, the happiest country on earth. And I was like, actually, I think they might be number 2 now.
And now we're number 1.
Are we 1 again?
I think so.
Okay.
Hopefully, God, I've not fact checked. So. I'm looking it up. You keep going.
We can have a corrections corner.
I felt like Finland.
I think it is Finland.
Denmark at some point, but then the new league came out, and I'm just making this up.
She's furiously scrolling right now to fact check if we are living in the happiest country on earth or if we're only number 2.
I will revert.
Yes. So I think, yes, I think Danes are happy. But happiness, again, I think when people think of happy, they think of people skipping around with smiles on their faces. And that only happens in the summer here. Like in the summer, you definitely get a different version of Danes. But genuinely, Danes are happy. But that comes from a lot of things that help you be happy, right? The entire, I guess, the whole test on the happiest lands or, see, I did Danglish too. Lands is actually country in Danish, people. So I accidentally said happiest lands, but, the happiest countries on earth, it talks about security. It talks about general health benefits. It talks about equality, pay, ability to feel secure. And I know when I moved here, I immediately felt differently about life in general.
In a good way, you mean?
In a good way, in a very good way. I felt a lot less stress that I didn't actually even realize I had on me all the time. Like you don't have to worry. Okay, so very quickly here, I mean, the first few months, I had a weird bump, not to be all medical, but I had a weird bump and I got really worried about it. And I immediately went to my doctor here and she's like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and send you to the specialist and then send you to the hospital. And they moved through it very quickly. And in the States, even with the best insurance, you're like, wait, I'm getting an MRI. Wait, I'm getting all this. Like, this is great. I want to make sure I'm okay. But also you're like, is this going to be like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000? You think that way because it will be. I didn't have to worry about that at all. So if you multiply that, right? Anytime someone's sick or something's happened or they have a baby, they don't have to worry about this being a financial stressor. And I think that is something that people really underplay or not realize how much it can affect you. And we're fortunate to be a very secure family, but still, if you know that is a stressor or could be, it can be very stressful in general, right? And it makes you not be happy. I think there's that.
It's a fun one, this, because, it's like Danes are so happy. Danes are so cold and reserved. Danes are so difficult to make friends with. It's like, they're quite paradoxical.
Exactly. They actually really are paradoxical. You're right.
And, apparently mutually exclusive. But I agree with you. There is something about having a solid foundation, which your life was based on.
Yes.
And that is all the stuff that you're not paying private insurance for, all the things that in society just work well. You're not necessarily stressing about which school your kid's going to go to because the schools are generally a high quality, high levels of trust. I think that one, if you think about the US and the UK, because we're obviously born and raised there, think about the trust in the government. It is not like that in the UK. So I came here with a different level of expectation on like the politics and how the country is run. And I was so pleasantly surprised with their response to COVID. Like the lockdown, very fast. People were super complicit because there is a high level of trust in the government. So when health officials stand on TV and say, wear masks, people, stay at home, only leave for these 2-3 key reasons. I did love that they kept the bakeries open. They really understand their people. They were like, you know what? Everybody needs rye bread. Like if we start withholding rye bread, there's going to be riots. So let's, you know what, bakeries? You classify as a supermarket. Sorry, side note, but very funny. And I was so happy again, like I was happy with that response. I think the societal trust
is high here. Very high.
And that definitely adds a lot of weight in this happiness, but not in the traditional way that we perceive happy, smiling.
Exactly.
It's just more like, we've got you covered. Don't worry about that.
You know what? Oh, Danes are happy because the Denmark is like a giant golden parachute. The Denmark. Adding words unnecessarily. My Danglish is on fire today. No, but it's like Denmark provides a golden parachute, and that's why you're happier.
Yeah. So I think Danes are happy, but not in the traditional sense.
Yes.
They still have relationship problems. Their kids are still, even though they're patient, they can still be really annoying. And annoyed with them as well. We have all the same life problems, money, worries, all of that stuff. But generally, as a base, happier. I would say people are pretty happy.
Yeah, including us. I think we're happier.
Yeah.
Okay, so ready for this one? Since you've been here for so long, you're almost, this is like second nature for you. And you've tried to do these things a lot, which is make plans. So ready for it? Number 5, Danes are so unspontaneous. Danes are so unspontaneous.
Absolutely true. I mean, I'm not even going to count. I'm sorry, Danes, but you know who you are, and you are not spontaneous.
No.
Like, you love a plan.
Yes.
People love a good plan for weeks. It's also why
Weeks? What are you talking about? Months?
You can't even get an appointment to get your hair done. It's like, don't wait for those roots to come through because you ain't getting it done for like 6 weeks, you know? And you can never get nails done. Like, really, like, basic things.
Yeah, because everyone plans it out already.
Yeah,
and
and
their
it's like
calendars
all the appointments are gone. Like, prime time goes really fast. And socially, people, there is a lot of interest in sports and hobbies, and so that takes up people's times.
Yes.
And then they have families. Family is often number one.
Yeah.
It's not, people work a decent amount of hours, but it's not that's necessarily pulling them away. They also have great work-life balance, which we never talked about on Being Happy, but there is something there.
That's true. We can definitely go into what drives happiness.
Yeah, but definitely. Okay, so when I first moved here, I really wanted to make friends. I was in my first job, and I thought, I'll just ask if people want to go for a drink after work. And I could see it wasn't like tumbleweed, it's like people wanted to do it, but they genuinely couldn't.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wait, today? Like, as in after work, 4 o'clock, we'll just say 4 o'clock. Like, I very rarely left at 4 o'clock, but like, so let's say 4 o'clock. And you're like, yeah. Oh, well, no, I have to go home and I have to do that. And you're like, okay. And I quickly realized that it's because those things, that's not a cultural thing. Like the after work drink, and we live in Copenhagen, right? That's not necessarily a thing. They do Friday bars.
Yes, Friday bars.
But again, it's all planned.
Yes.
It's like, this happens every week. It's reliable. It's safe. Whereas I'm such a spontaneous person. So I had a really hard time with this because I didn't move here with kids. It was pre-kids. So, God, do you remember those days? Where you could say, should we just go out for dinner tonight? And
my entire life in New York was just a lesson in spontaneity. Yeah,
like dinner, drinks. Yeah. And by spontaneity, we mean like you would be slightly different people. You would go out for dinner and drinks every night, and then people would change. Yes. And the venue would change. Exactly. And the food would change. But actually, it was kind of routine.
Exactly.
But yeah, same for me. I lived in London for quite a few years and had a really good group of friends, amazing colleagues as well. And, I could just put my hand up and say, oh, who feels like dinner tonight? And I worked in a huge team when I was in London. And like 20 people would often be like, yeah, hand up, like, yeah, okay, what time? Yeah, like 7:30 p.m. Different life, different career. Mm-hmm. And then you just go out. No one cooks, same as New York, same as big cities, right? No one, you have a kitchen, it's just for show. Yeah. And you come here and then you're like, okay, so people don't want to do last minute drinks for dinner. No. And then you get back to the friendship thing. Yeah. Like you just have to really adjust your expectations, and you do have to assimilate. This is one area where I really fought this for a long time. It's lonely. Yes. If you want to be spontaneous all the time, it's going to get lonely in Copenhagen. Like,
unless you find a friend who is equally as spontaneous and open to just being like, all right, let's do it.
And I have to say, this is where foreigners come into. This is where we come into our own. We find each other. And we talked about Danish friends because we're talking about Danish stereotypes. But you and I, for as many Danish friends that we have a lot more foreign friends because that's just, we all kind of gravitate to each other. It's natural, isn't it? But yeah, that's where the spontaneity generally is.
But I will say that I'm trying to have a blend, right? Like, make sure I make the schedule, have things done out. But then you find that your diary gets filled really quickly. And you're like, I want that time where I can literally just...
Yeah, it's like the 80-20 rule of everything. Like, it should be in your calendar as well. It can plan 80%, but you always need to have some flex. You and I just took a trip to England. That was very impromptu. That was not planned.
No. Mm-mm.
That was like a week out.
Yeah.
2 weeks out.
2 weeks out. We were like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. That maybe we'll have like an episode of traveling with kids. And we'll talk about
not to do.
What not to do. We'll leave that one hanging. There's a cliffhanger there. Okay.
All right. So yes, we agree. Danes are unspontaneous.
Yes.
They love a plan.
Yes.
So get used to it. Get planning. Okay. So last one.
Okay.
Number 6. Danes are so direct. What do you think, then?
Yeah. I'm going to go with it depends. I think no, I think in general, yes. I do think Danes, so they don't sugarcoat things, but they're not confrontational. My experience.
Now there is a caveat, because what we are talking about
yes
is Danes speaking English. We are not necessarily talking about Danes speaking Danish, because I don't think either of us have the language expertise to really give a view on that.
No. There's whole words that I don't know what people are saying to me, and I have to.
And they could be the softening words.
They probably are. They probably are. The other day, I just learned about "me," and I was like, "Oh, that's a nicer way of saying that." I was like, "Oh, that's what they've been saying. That wasn't just a weird sound they're making at me."
But so I think as a foreigner, the stereotype of a Dane, the perception is they are direct.
Yes.
And when they're speaking English, I think sometimes the direct translations, as in like literal translations, Danish to English, can come off quite abrupt.
Yes, because it's not the way we would put that phrase in English as a native English speaker. We would soften it. We would say it a different way, because Danes don't have a lot of extra words in Danish.
We have one of the biggest in the English.
And we have, one of the ones the biggest in English language. So I would say, yes, they're direct. They're not rude or trying to be rude. They're just straightforward.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I know, like, sometimes you get family coming over, and then it's always interesting when they come over for the first time and they mix with other family here or other people, and then they also have this impression.
Yes.
So it must be a thing.
Yeah.
But I do think it's the Danish to English more than, Danes are just super abrupt in everything, because I don't think that is the case. It's just the way that we hear it.
Yeah.
It's probably fair to say that Danes are quite misunderstood. And that is clash of the cultures. Yes. Depending on where you come from, your expectations, your temperament, how you would like things to operate. Mm-hmm. I think also, like, we moved here, right?
Yeah.
There's a little part of me that's like, we don't need to assimilate and copy and change everything about us to just fit into society. But you did move to another culture. So I think finding peace with that, figuring out how things work, and most importantly, I guess, how to make things work for ourselves, which is a journey that I've been going on for almost 9 years now.
I feel like you're spot on. We moved here.
Yeah.
We moved here to be part of the things of being so happy, all of these other things. And then part of that is embracing the things that make us feel a little bit uncomfortable at first as we start to learn about it. So, But anyway, this has been fun.
I've really enjoyed this one. A little bit more like off the cuff.
It is.
Yeah. But thank you so much for listening. We love sharing all these stereotypes and insights that we have, and trying to break down, I guess, some of the barriers that we're all facing.
Thanks again. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. If you have any myths that you would like us to debunk, write to us. You can always reach us on Instagram at the Scandi Shift. DM us there. And then also, if you have not picked us up, we're on YouTube.
Not with video.
No, you can listen to us. We're not on video, but you can listen to us in the background while you're working, right before you have an awkward meeting. Anyway, so talk for a day.
Yeah, talk for a day.